With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Soldier.
With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Soldier.
You're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show, with your host Brent, kicking it here on this Sunday night vibes. It's the end of a weekend and the beginning of the week. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening in here on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. We'll get started in just a couple of seconds.
With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Soldier.
We rock it from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, let us know what you think. Let us know if it's still cold there.
With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Make sure you follow us on our other social media platforms. You can follow us on my YouTube channel, my TikTok channel, both named The Koolykool Show. Be sure to also follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at Koolykool2412.
With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Soldier.
With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Soldier.
So welcome to the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Your host, Brent. So if you haven't been told this already, you are special. This is Sunday Night Vibes here. It's a little different theme than the typical podcast that I typically do. It's more kind of a chill setting, chill atmosphere. With as long as a lot of things are going on in the world today, you kind of probably need, I guess, as they say, Sunday is the day of rest. As they put in the scriptures in the Bible, but, I don't like to get on time for religion talk. There's different various religions, and other people have their opinions to it. But, like I said, that's the reason I'm putting with this podcast, this segment, Sunday Night Vibes. It's the chill mode. It's the chill time. Get your mind right. Get you feeling all right. Get yourself prepared and set up for the week coming ahead. So, I hope you guys out there had a wonderful and a great weekend. Every day is a blessing. Just be very fortunate and grateful for the things that you have and the people that surround you and the warm and wealth that gives you that to continue on, which you should have to continue on. Like I said, especially considering a lot of things going on in the world today, it sometimes can feel like a kind of depressing kind of atmosphere or to be around. But you also have to remember how much good there is out there. So do remember that. If you're feeling down, you're feeling blue, always remember that there is extraordinary beauty and extraordinary things that can lift your day and make you feel a lot better. And if you're struggling doing something, remember to get some help. It's, there's always avenues to go out and get to talk to somebody or whatever. Too many times, I hear so many times people always saying they're depressed and they have too many things going on in their mind. And, we do now understand that mental illness is a form of, it's a huge problem plaguing the world, not just one area, but the world. And I think it's at the point in time we do need to kind of realize that and try to help each other. We're here on this planet, so we need to work together while we're here on this planet. So, try to figure out what should we talk about. Obviously, the hot topics of discussion is the Ukraine and Russia crisis going on at this point in time. I've kind of waged a kind of full onslaught of how I felt, how I feel about it, and what's the whole issues. And there's underlining stories that we're not being told, we're not being fed, and how a lot of things going on, especially with the vaccines and the whole coronavirus and situations like that. And the Super Bowl had just recently passed, and you have people not wearing masks, the famous people, the celebrities, feeling, I guess, a little bit above everybody and beyond, even though there was a mask mandate while being attendance at the Super Bowl. But obviously, I listened to my other podcast, I told you that, that's not even going to be an issue. Masks, whatever. Sure, COVID-19 does not exist while the Super Bowl was going on. And it's very evident of that. I just want to go and touch on one thing. 50 Cent had performed at the Super Bowl, and he was upside down during one of the segments, and I guess he was making a kind of retro kind of, scene from his music video from back in the day. I remember I was a teenager when his song came out. Man, Jesus Christ, that's like over 20 years ago. He, in one of the videos, he was upside down and he was singing the song, in the club, and then he did a thing at the Super Bowl where the same thing, and he was upside down, and then many people begin to, body shame him and say, "Oh, did you see 50 Cent? He was looking out of shape and he was looking too huge." And I guess 50 Cent had posted something and said something as far as he was going to be hitting the gym, and he didn't like the fact that he looked. I just want to understand, is just, you got a lot of people, making fun of individuals and things of that nature, and body shaming for a person, who, to me, 50 Cent is not a person that's, I would say, that's out of shape. He's actually a person that's physically fit, in shape. But obviously, with the way social media is and how the internet is, he became the brunt of so many memes. And, this goes to tell you, there's a lot of cold-hearted people out there that will just get out of riles of just making fun of other people. And you kind of have to kind of wonder as far as where their mindset is at. I mean, it's no different than the common bully that used to just, be on your neighborhood that would be bullying other people. But that bully back then was in person. Now you have the kind of bullying tactics, which is the same MO, but it's now along the internet. And as it's along the internet, it's along the way of how people end up talking to people or saying things or doing certain kind of funny things about them, which is not meant to be, kind of a nice kind of way. It's not the way some of these people do on the internet do. It's kind of in a way where they're trying to go after them, attack them, and belittle them. And that's another form of bullying. I guess some people figure says, well, guess what? If I'm on a computer screen and they can't see me, guess what? It's not really bullying. Yeah, it is. It's actually bullying. You just don't understand what some people, why they would do that. And the thing is, whatever shape, size, or form you are, and people will suffer that every day. You have people, who want to improve their way of life, the way they look, because they feel a little feel insecure about how they look. And don't shame a person that's trying to improve themselves. If the person is trying to improve themselves, let them improve themselves to make themselves feel happy about themselves. Me, I go to the gym, I work out, and I do it because it makes me feel better. At the end of the workout that I do, I feel better about myself, if a person is doing something other than that, if a person is, I guess, basically, if a person's comfortable in their own skin, do you think it's your right to just bash and make fun of them? No. That's another form of being a bully. Why would you do that? You wouldn't like it done if someone was done to you. And if you're the one doing that to some other people, then you have to really check yourself, and you have to really kind of see where you're at. What's your whole MO, your motive behind why you're doing that. I just found that kind of interesting, and this is a celebrity who's making millions of dollars and has it. And he felt kind of as far as kind of like, I gotta go work out, and he, when you have an abundance of people that follow him, and he kind of takes it kind of a little personal, because he's like, oh man, that really says something, I mean, one thing is, me personally, I don't like bullies, and then there's many people that don't like bullies. I mean, back in the old days, if you got bullied, you went up to the bully, you told the bully you better knock it off, and if the bully didn't get it the first time, you knocked him in the nose. And I guarantee you, if you knocked him hard enough, that bully left you alone, because you challenged him or her. You let them know where you stood at the form of, hey, don't do that to me. I don't do it to you, don't do it to me. But now you have different types of forms of how stuff is done, where people will do it just to do it. It's not out of spite, it's just to do it, to get aroused, to get fun, to make, or something like that. So I just wanted to kind of head toes that, whether maybe many people didn't realize that. Because like I said, this is Sunday Night Vibe, so it's a different type of beat than my normal podcast, where I'm kind of like, oh, we're going to... Nah, it's a little bit different type. This is more of a kind of slow, mellow, chilling out. Talk to you with a different pace to get you ready for the work week. The weekend is coming to it. It was pretty much coming to an end in a couple hours, wherever you're at. But just remember that. As far as the whole situation right now going on in Ukraine, who knows? At this point in time, there's so many stories, there's so many things we're being led to believe. So many people said that, oh, it's imminent. I'm looking at the headline right now. It says, Ukraine, Russia, latest news updates. Russia, Ukraine, Biden briefed by the security advisor as Russian commanders receive invasion orders. And that was marked 20 hours ago. Like, we're being fed so many different types of narratives, different types of stories as far as what is really actually happening. Does anybody have does anybody have a goddamn clue? And I'm talking about from the elites of the elites, social status club, the political leaders, the ones that are in charge of the country, or so-called, they think they are. The ones that are, making the decisions for everybody else. It was like, hey, you don't have to make a decision for me. I'm my own person. But you have these elites of the status social club making all these moves, and I just wonder, for the people of Ukraine, or any person who's Ukrainian descent or Ukraine, how do you feel about the whole situation, as far as you have individuals that are, making, decisions on behalf of your own country? I mean, how do you feel in that? I mean, that's what I had talked about in one of my podcasts, where I was like, how would you feel if somebody come into your house telling you, hey, you're going to do this and that? You'd be like, you don't even live here. But they're like, no, I don't care. This is what you're going to do. You're like, what? I just always wonder how the people in Ukraine feel. I mean, if you have any input, or you want to have your words spoken, definitely drop me a line. Send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how you think about the whole situation and how everything's going on. I know you guys in Ukraine are probably fed up as far as everybody saying this and that and what's going on and blah, 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 blah. I know it seems to be long and drawn out. I'm just kind of like, what, don't tell me something when I could just be, doing my own thing, but you guys, for some other reason, which is always the whole thing about it, and everything about the situation, what's going on, is all fueled because of money. Yeah, it is. It's all fueled about money. That is I guess what they say, the root of all evil, but yet money makes the world go around, right? So, you can look at it this way. It's the fact that they have people in power have so much money. These people want to stay up top, and they want to make more money, and they have the powers that may be to help them make extra money and have more money than the other person. I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, the United States has a huge abundance of gold, even though many people have been speculated to say the United States does not have gold, and we're just fronting the money and saying, I got gold, don't worry, I got gold. But then in reality, it's like, man, we ain't got shit. I think that's completely inaccurate. I think the United States has tons of gold. But obviously, that's the reason why a lot of people around the world are quick to call and talk to the United States and one of the United States assistants on a lot of things, because of the fact that we have a lot of wealth, even though, it may not seem like that, but trust me, when you do have the amount of wealth, people believe that they can, do whatever, and that's the whole brunt of it, is that people want to stay up top, and they're going to stay up top, especially if they have the money, the power, the respect, and then, once you get the money, power, and respect, then you get the ultimate, the number one prize of it all. Yes, you get the women. Oh yeah, you get all those three. You get the women at that point, my friend. Oh yes, it's true. No, I'm serious. That one is true though. Believe it, right? But that back to what I was saying though. It's a true bit. It really is a true bit. If you have the most money, you're gonna be charged things. I mean, the only thing is I can't stand is the fact that there's so many documentaries that's been out there about United States and their national gold reserves, like, Fort Knox. Look, first of all, let's just be real and honest about this way. Do you think the United States, as paranoid as we United States and the American citizen is, do you think that the United States government would actually let the American people, their own people, and let alone anyone else outside of America, know that, hey, we got the Fort, Knox, or the gold reserves is here, and this is the cameras, this is what it's set up, and the things, this is the master security's got top-notch things. You really think that the United States would actually have any type of gold at that facility? Hell no. It's a front. You build it up as though there is the possibility that there will be gold or something there, but trust me, it's not. Why would it be there? I mean, come on. That's too much. That's too much of a risk. Even the craziest person in the world, or the craziest organization, they'd be like, I would want to break in there, go in there, but then you'd be like, there's no way in hell. So then it would be like, you know what? It's almost an impossible beat. But then again, it's really not, because no one's going to be that dumb enough to do so, because then they put out with everything that's for as what they have, the security measures for it. And then there have been people that have worked there, but just let's get that straight. That's like a portion of the entire amounts of gold that individual employee probably may have moved certain gold pieces there, but that's not the entire fortune, because, and honestly, we don't know how much gold the United States truly does have. We can only estimate or guesstimate on how much gold the United States have. Man, I'm getting off topic. God damn it. But it started off talking about people in power with money, because this whole thing's fueled by money. All it is. Because I heard a little birdie told me that apparently there's a major pipeline that Russia was trying to get instilled and going during former President Trump's administration, and President Trump had shut that shit down. And when he shut it down, he pretty much shut any notion of Russia trying to further kind of seek at towards it. And this is, I guess, a huge major thing for over there, and especially for Russia, since Russia, I think, believes they are kind of independent on their own field thing. So this probably hit the pockets kind of very seldom, but with everything surrounding it kind of made a little bit more sense as far as, oh, Russia doesn't say anything about it now, but then as soon as President Biden gets into office, then certain things that they did or whatever signed, the next you can see that Russia begins to do it all back up again, because it's a pipeline that they have an issue. I think it's with the pipeline from from Russia to Germany. And now you see that President Putin in Russia sees a golden opportunity to do it while he believes that our administration right now in office is kind of at its standstill or weakened a little bit. And it's like, we're not really weakened. We're firing all cylinders, but as we're firing all cylinders, we're kind of taking our time. We're kind of gradually doing things. But I think they probably felt that it would be a perfect time to probably use this. Maybe that's the underlying story. Maybe it's a masking technique. But like I said, it comes back to what? Money. It's not the resource of the oil. It's actually the money coming from the oil. Because honestly, do we actually know if the oil is going to be going, what is it, how do I say, east to west or west to east? No, you're not. We just know it's a pipeline that stretches over hundreds of miles. So as it's stretching over hundreds of miles, I mean, in reality, you put in the thought process with the pipelines, like, oh, there's pipelines right here, where people will know where the pipeline's at and how far it stretches. But yet, it wouldn't not take much for a crazy person, a terrorist, who would probably just say, you know what would happen if I destroyed this pipeline? I'm pretty sure there's probably been some incidents that probably might have happened in some other countries, but at the same time, I don't think that's the full realm of it, because I think it's probably one bit of it that's like, hey, we can supply this, we can plant this here, so we can generate ourselves money, and we can all make money. Could be the product. I mean, I think I'm pretty much convinced that everything that we're being showed, told, there's an underlying story. If you see multiple stories by different people and media outlets, there's constantly things are changing, and there's like, well, it's just evolving because of the situation at hand. You wouldn't really know it because you didn't study at the Harvard School of Law, and you're not in the whole, the democracy of the Democrats and the Republicans, and you're not part of the associations of the elite social class status. You don't have $25 million in the bank and refunded and all this other stuff, and yet. They do that. I mean, you gotta understand how certain things are brought about, and how so many people are great con artists to talk to you. And I would say the greatest con artists, the people, are the ones that have all the money and want to stay up top, because they're able to create influence and they're able to remain at the top, not because, I worked extremely hard on it. There is some part of that they have done. They've worked extremely hard, but their hard work is their hard work into conning and influencing you so that way they can stay atop and be part of that elite social status. And that's what I brought back on my last podcast of the Ukraine-Russia Part 2 episode. I had said at the end, but I didn't really touch on it that much. But if you watch these end-of-the-world movies that have been coming out in the last, 10 years, what is usually that happens with these end of the worlds? It's always some type of lottery winning system, it's a fucked up lottery system, where the government gives the people a call or notifies them somehow, and they've been selected to, be a survivor, of the end of the world, because the world's going to blow up, and guess what? You can only bring immediate family, and that's it, and, one bag each, and people that have been selected in these movies are all, highly intelligent people, highly smart individuals, people of elite social status. These are the percentage people that can restart the world's population, because, if something happens to the world, they want smart people. They don't want, people that are not, smart. So to speak. Basically, it's lame. They don't want dumbasses. They want elite smart people. Which, excuse me, which I think that's pretty jacked up. But I'm telling you, watch these movies that have the end of the world situation and stuff that's going on and going down. It's this fucked up lottery system, and this fucked up lottery system has where each and every country does the exact same shit. People with wealth, people with money, people with connections, people with, power, and people who are supposed to be the top echelons of these social status are the ones that are going to be saved, while everybody else dies horribly. That's what ends up happening. I mean, what is the one movie with the movie with Deep Impact? That movie, what happened? They did a lottery system. The only reason I think the character Elijah Wood, his family got there because he found the comet that was going to destroy the Earth. So they were like, look, we got to give him an incentive and be like, okay, congratulations, you found the comet that's going to kill us all. So we might as well give you, you and your family a spot, in the cave or whatever to live, I think the movie Armageddon didn't have any. They were just like betting, I hope they save us, but we're going to have a bunch of freaking half-intelligent, ogres drilling to save the world. I mean, they kept it real, but, not the premise of flying to hurling a rock in the outer space, drilling it, and then planting a bomb in it, and then blowing it the hell up. I think that's a little far-fetched. So, that movie had everything written on it. If that was to happen in real life, we're dead. The whole Earth was blown up at that point. They didn't have any last year. They left it out. I think 2012, the movie, 2012, that movie had a serious lottery system in it. They were like, look, and it was like, if you watch the movie, I think the one Russian billionaire guy in it, I love that guy's character, by the way. That guy's character was cold-hearted son of a bitch. He was at the boxing match, his home girl, and he was watching his homeboy box, and then he got the phone call, looked at his phone, and was like, oh, snap. It's time to go. Start the boarding process. He was like, damn the boxing match. Damn my girl. I'm out. And he was left. He got up. And then I think one of the ones I just recently watched, what is it, Gerard Butler? I think I'm saying it right. The guy from 300. He was in the movie, I think it was in Greenland or something. It was like some meteor shower or something happened. It was like stuff coming down, and he had people over his house, and they were like, watching something, and then next thing it was like, oh, it's coming, asteroid's coming here, and then next thing he got an alert. It was like, we got been selected and we got to go, and it's like, report here. And then his next door neighbors who were at his house, they didn't get no phone call, and then people were quick to turn on each other and like, oh, that's some bullshit. You know what's going on? What the fuck, man? And I know somebody's probably saying, what he got off of, but this all, revolves about to this elite social status group of people that think they are above it all and think they can run everything. Think they can tell everyone what to do and how to do it. Now, I understand there has to be some type of, law and order and things, because sometimes people cannot control them damn selves, all right? That's just evident. Let's just be real. Let's be honest with that. But in the same sense, let's just not lie to the people and tell them, we're all care about her. There's always that mentality where people says, yeah, I care, how you doing, shaking hands and kissing babies, but then under the table, they're still really sticking the middle finger at you, all right? Let's just be honest. That's how some people are out there, all right? So, and if you didn't know it and you didn't realize that, trust me, it does happen. And they actually did it into our face publicly in front of the entire world who was watching it. That was the Super Bowl. I don't have anything against the Super Bowl. Alright? I like football. I love football. But I'm telling you, if your dad didn't tell you what I'm talking about to you right now, I don't know what else. I'm trying to just, I'm not influencing, I'm just telling you how it really is. Being real about a lot of stuff. And trust me, being real about a lot of stuff, people don't want to hear it. You know why? Because the truth fucking hurts. Alright? It really does. And that's why a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, because when you start talking the truth, that's why when people go to the, some people, that one friend is at the bar and they start drinking, they're obnoxious, whatever, but guess what? They start talking too much because they start telling the fucking truth and shit. And the other people, shut the fuck up, man. You're like, I don't give a goddamn, man, this motherfucking son, bitch. You'd be like, what the fuck, man? Can't take that motherfucker nowhere. But it's, the world we live in, right, folks? Like I always say, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Don't worry, he's not doing anything. Trust me, he's not doing anything. He's not twirling his mustache, laughing. No, he's not. He's just sitting in there over giggling about, hey, I'm gonna be rich all the time. I'm gonna be in charge all the time. Like, let's put it this way. Yeah, they say anybody can be the president. All you have to do is get the right amount of votes, and you can be the president. Well, let's be honest. I don't know about anybody else, but it's fueled by money. You have to have tons of money. Like it is what it is. An average Joe kid, he can go to law school, get great grades, pass everything, and then eventually work his way up. But I'm telling you right now, that is probably, it's not impossible, but it's a hell of a long shot. Trust and believe. I'm not trying to say it's not impossible, because nothing is impossible. Everything is very possible. It's just probably a fucking long, hard-ass way to get there. Alright? And when you're trying to get there, it's a fucking bumpy road. The bitch ain't fucking smooth, alright? So, we're at our halfway point as usual. I am going to go get something to drink, as I always say. Then we're going to be right back for some more of this Sunday night vibes, and we'll close it out with, I guess, some other topics, I guess, for discussion. But, yep, stick with me here, live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Koolykool Show, on this Sunday night vibe at the end of the weekend. So, I'm going to go get something to drink. We'll be right back. Be right back. So, chill out. Be right back. Hold on. Yes, you're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show, here on Sunday Night Vibes. Be sure to follow us on our other social media platforms. You can follow me on my TikTok channel, my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. It's Koolykool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at Koolykool2412. You can also be sure to follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_TheChamp. So, let's get back in it on Sunday Night Vibes. Boo. Yep. So, we were talking a little bit about how, anything and everything, honestly, because it's just the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Yes, 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 it is, right? Yes. Can I have applause, please? There we go. There we go. Don't worry, I'm not going to wear a mask at the Super Bowl, don't worry. But, sure, where we left off. A lot of stuff going on in the world. Things are happening. Oh, by the way, does anybody actually truly know what's in these sanctions that, if Russia does invade Ukraine? I mean, we've been hearing it on the news. If you've been hearing it on the news, they've been talking about so much about, if Russia invades Ukraine, the United States and its allies and NATO is going to issue out tons of sanctions against Russia. Now, we've heard the word sanctions, so many sanctions. What fucking sanctions are they talking about? Like, honestly. Like, and I know somebody, the elite social status, maybe if they happen to come across my podcast and listen, i.e. the government's probably watching me, I don't know. But they'd probably be like, oh, they don't understand. It's this type of sanctions, sanctions of oil, sanctions of oil. But honestly, back to what I was saying again. And people say, oh, well, you can research yourself. Not the little people, but the normal people, they're not going to know what you're talking about as sanctions because you're going to make it to where they don't need to know. So, see what I'm talking about? Because it's not going to be in a direct to affect them because they're going to be put still like it's not going to affect you because you're not going to be part of the elite social status club. Sorry. But it will affect as far as the the elites of the elites, the politics and the people of power. It will affect them, so that way they'll do certain things, so that way they stay on top and maintain power. But like I said, are we gonna know what type of sanctions there? Hell no, not no. Are we gonna understand it? Hell no, not no. So it's one of those things where it's nail biting. Because you would like to want to know what the hell they're talking about some of this stuff. I mean, you can research and try to look as the best you can to understand it. And you can probably sit down and figure out, but guess what? How's that directly going to be affecting your life? Even though you'd be like, oh, well, it's this or that because it affects this way. And this is the reason why it's going on. I guess if you want to go down that right. But, like I said, it goes to that, that whole... the end of the world situation. Trust me, because if it's the end of the world and they're doing a lottery selection, how did was it George Carlton said? He's like, oh, it's a big club, and guess what? You ain't in it. All right, only the top elites of the elite social status people, the people with money and all this other stuff, are the elite social status club. That's it. I believe I was watching this video, and the video was talking about, they were saying, they were telling people, they're like, hey, the thing is, you have, and I think it was a millionaire guy, he was like tons of millions, he's like, and he's on YouTube, by the way, I don't know why, but, he was saying, he was like, the one thing is that the wealthy, he was like, basically, there's, the regular social class, but he was talking about the rich and the wealthy. He's like, the difference between the rich and the wealthy. He's like, the rich people, they have money, but they just have a ton of money. He said the wealthy, they have tons of money, but they accumulate it in assets, and they stay at that top with their assets, which makes their wealth. Which is would be kind of true. I mean, honestly, I wasn't down on the guy or anything like that. I'm a fair gamer. I will listen. And the way he was talking, he was saying, he was like, you have to have the money. He's like, the rich and the wealthy don't work for the money. He's like, the regular normal people, they're the ones that work to get money, while the rich and the wealthy don't work for money. And kind of listening to that, I was like, yeah, that's true. And I said, but you're not understanding as far as from other people. And then I think they went in a tangent and was like, oh, well, I was at a position in time when I didn't have money and I didn't have this and that. We understand that, but when you're given certain opportunities and you're able to have opportunities, it's a difference. And this has nothing, I'll tell you, nothing to do with race at all. None of it. All right? So I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, it does have something to do with race because, if I'm this color and that color, blah, blah, and that, I'll be getting this opportunity. It has nothing to do with it. It does not. All right? Because I've seen every type of poor people. All right? And trust me, there ain't just one race where there's just a certain type of poor people. No, that ain't it. All right, like all around the world, I can tell you one thing: every area around the world has a goddamn ghetto. And trust me, the ghettos are different color races. So that has nothing to do with anything. If every spot in the world has a ghetto, trust me, race is not a factor. Okay? So we're going to dismiss all of that. Alright? So, but it's just pretty much as far as certain of, avenues where a person can get opportunities. And I think, it's hard because some people should be able to get opportunities and some people don't get a chance to get it, or they miss their opportunity to have that opportunity to get it. But like I said, there's a lot to do with it, but I'm just going to put it out there, it's not a race issue. Now, if you bring race into it and some person says that, then they're leading into a race issue, but in the way certain things are, it's not a race issue. Okay? It's just an area where typically it has to deal with individuals in an area getting opportunities to be able to get where somebody else is. That's what it is. Like I said, not everybody's going to be able to go to Harvard. Hell, I got, decent good grades when I was in high school, and I was looking at freaking different, type of colleges. But trust me, Harvard wasn't looking at me. I'm not a stupid guy. I don't think I am. But, but it is what it is, though. So I'm not bent out of shape over it. I'm not missing sleep because of it. So, but I don't know. It is what it is, though. But, and I believe we've come to the end of another great episode here on the Coolest of the Cool, the Koolykool Show, with your host Brent on Sunday Night Vibes. Be sure to follow us on other social media platforms. You can also follow me on my TikTok and YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's the Koolykool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at Koolykool2412. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. So you heard it here on Sunday Night Vibes. It's a different type of mellow mood swing kind of talk. The next my podcast, we're gonna amp it up a little bit more, But Sunday Night Vibes is a different type of way I like to treat it. And no, it's not a stoner's delight. I don't do any of that. It's just more of just kind of chilling out, sitting behind maybe good old brew, campfire, listening to some nice music, and chilling out. So, like I said, you heard it here on the Coolest of the Cool, the Koolykool Show on Sunday Night Vibes. So, everyone, take care and be safe. Bye.
With all the advantages and opportunities, our kids.
Soldier.